Switching gears to the federal case where Donald Trump is charged with conspiring to subvert the 2020 presidential election result. The twice impeached, thrice indicted, disgraced ex-president Donald Trump is ignoring a warning from the court and the judge last week against making inflammatory statements and is now targeting the judge in the case, Tanya Chutkan. On Truth Social, the ex-president accused Judge Chutkan of being partisan in multiple incendiary posts over the weekend, including one that calls her a, quote, Obama left-wing activist judge who is running election interference against him, accompanied by a picture of Judge Chutkan's face. As Trump pushes the limits of his pretrial conditions just 3 days after they were set, legal experts are wondering if he will soon face a gag order. Joining our coverage, former Assistant U.S. Attorney, MSNBC legal analyst, our friend Glenn Kirschner. Glenn, there's a piece of this that's about Trump, right? And his, a flag was waved in front of him, and with the brain cells of a bull, he went charging through the red flag. But there's a piece about how she will respond and react, and that's what I'm interested in hearing you weigh in on.
Yeah, I think we're at a point now where this is sort of integrity of the criminal justice system 101, where at some point I do think the system of justice has to assert itself, as difficult as it might be, as unprecedented as it might be, to sort of protect, preserve, and promote the integrity of the system. When I think it was a repost by Donald Trump, where he said that Judge Chutkan admitted to engaging in election interference against Donald Trump. He is now falsely putting words in her mouth. And Nicole, can't you just hear it sort of bouncing around in MAGA world? Well, I read that Judge Chutkan admitted engaging in election interference against Donald Trump. I could even see jurors during jury selection, during voir dire, coming in and saying, well, I read that the judge admitted to engaging in election interference. At some point, I think, given the need for the citizens to view this as a reliable process and the result as a reliable result, the system really does need to wrestle with this very difficult, very thorny issue. And I think Donald Trump may have actually made that a little bit easier by posting what I think is clearly a threat against a witness or an attempt to intimidate a witness down in Georgia. If you'll let me kind of mix criminal apples and oranges here for a minute, mixing his federal cases with his state cases, I think what Donald Trump just did may have sort of walked him one step closer to a jail cell pretrial detention, because, I was at the courthouse, and during his arraignment, the magistrate judge said something that caused my ears to perk up. And here's what she said. She said, the most important condition of release, sir, is that you not commit a state, federal, or local crime while on release. If you were to do so, a warrant may issue for your arrest, your conditions of release may be revoked, and you may be held pending trial. What has Donald Trump just done? He posted something about a witness that he said he knew was about to go into the grand jury down in Georgia, Jeffrey Duncan, the former lieutenant governor. And he said he shouldn't testify. That's Donald Trump, I would contend, violating one of the laws of Georgia. There's a specific law on the books. It's a 2 to 10 year felony called influencing a witness. So it really feels like Donald Trump is forcing the judge's hand, because what has he done? He has arguably violated what the magistrate judge told him in no uncertain terms was the most important condition of pretrial release, not to violate any law, federal, state, or local. So, we may see Judge Chutkan push too far, and she may have to act and do something that, feels like it's unimaginable, which is consider detaining a former president pending trial for his own misconduct.